hey, if Troll Detective thinks it's transformative, then so what's up with the Troll Detective video? I guess that is the main question. So,
you don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
if I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm taking you to court.
Monty, we are in court already. The court of public opinion.
Monty and I have been together since September 25th of 2021. Just like me, the only purpose I served to you was being your fall guy. I was your fall guy. That was it. I was the damage control. And after watching all these women come forward one by one, I wasn't trying to ignore Buddha. I watched Buddha's video 3 different times. I watched it with my therapist. I can't sugarcoat this. I can't. And to say I'm disgusted doesn't even begin to cover it. Should have known that this was where this was going to go. Should have seen the signs. Thought I knew what to look for. We started messaging on Instagram. I felt comfortable reaching out to him after my falling out with someone else who I do not want to drag into this. And things went fine. He consoled me. He offered help. And coming off the heels of a lot of emotions I should have kept to myself, just like I might regret this moment later and tell myself that I should have held off. I wanted to come online sooner, but the second I started listening to a stream this morning, again, I want to really leave it nameless, okay? They encouraged me to stick to the facts. They encouraged me to remember the facts. For those reasons, I can't ignore those facts anymore. It wasn't that I couldn't say what side I was on. I was told to not say what side I was on. I was told to delete 2 tweets. I was told that if I made a video, that was the final straw. So I can confirm the fear, the obligation, and the guilt. It's a typical narcissist trait. The therapist reminded me of that this week. She encouraged me to cut ties. I said, I've already put enough time and energy into this. I have a platform because of him. Her response was, yeah, that's obligation. I can confirm almost everything. Because you know how to manipulate. And you think that manipulation is not abuse. Therapist says otherwise. I cannot speak on Tiny Dancer's behalf or anybody else's. I can only confirm what he's tried to cover up. And you know what, Monty? I know you're sitting there right now. I can visually see you doing it. I literally see an image of what you were wearing yesterday. You went to sleep in it, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, there's a reason those messages come in quickly for you. They were a defense. I didn't listen to myself. I ignored those messages because I told myself that, no, he's treating me differently. He just confirmed in a text that he wouldn't make a video about me. He confirmed that but yet you run into a different chat and drop my full name. Okay, you left off the last name because you were hoping to save it, right? Right. I took a bullet for you. But when you made that decision last night that you were no longer covering FB content, and you didn't tell me, you also, like, you didn't tell me that you're ready to go hop on a plane and go move to Calvary or whoever the hell, wherever the hell that was.
But he already has a flight booked to come visit me as a friend for my birthday.
And you had been with me for a year and never once mentioned about a move. And then when I crossed the line the other night by trying to vent in my own tweets, you turned around and reminded me that you had 2 mortgages to pay. 2 fucking mortgages to pay. As if that was my responsibility. And when you crossed the line and manipulated me in such a way that my dad would manipulate me, that's when I'm done. Kidney J, I am so sorry, hun. He told me not to talk to you. He told me not to talk to a lot of you. And now I know why. Because you're not hexed. This isn't some stuff you've gotten yourself into. This is your karma. This is your karma. You thought you weren't going to be found out, and you were. I even wanted to go talk to YTR because I can identify the patterns in you. I know what you look for. You pick on people with mental illnesses. Every single person that you platformed matches symptoms to something else, including me. So let me guess. When this is all done, and after you've released your 3 video limit that you like to do, I'll have 3 videos on me, right? And you're going to say, well, it was self-defense, right? Because that's what you would always tell me that it was. I didn't like the fact that you struck Troll Detective. It confused the hell out of me. I predicted it 1 hour before it happened. I texted you. I said, are you texting Troll, or are you striking Troll Detective? He said, yes. My first reaction was, what the fuck? What? Do you not get the lesson they're trying to teach you? Because I got the lesson. I understood the assignment.
You know, like when you walk into a room and you hear what everyone was saying about you? That was me today. Just watching people be like, what? Buddha? Fell out with Monty? I knew she sucked. Like, and people don't know why. But immediately I was, breaking people's hearts. People were disappointed in me. There was a lot of judgment. Mind you, there was a lot of support. And shout out to you guys. But there was a lot of judgment. I didn't fall out with Monty because of an emotional breakdown. I had an emotional breakdown because of my falling out with Monty after the incident. Because the one thing about not trusting yourself sometimes is that you allow people to sell you a story. You allow people to gaslight you. And you want to believe in the good in people sometimes. So in one night, I let my guard down because I am a very guarded person, and saying I have trouble letting people in is an extreme understatement. I actually thought that my YouTube friend was a real friend. But the one thing about him is that you have this debt to him if he supports you without you asking, always putting my channel in his chat. I mean, that's great, but I didn't ask for it. Isn't a gift something you do freely without obligation of a gift back? I thought it was a friend who genuinely wanted to support myself and my message that was on my channel, my mental health message. I just wanted a friend, a genuine friend. And once again, I feel so stupid. Now, I had 0 contact with Monty since the incident. 0. I tried to block Monty on multiple platforms, and he got to me through my email. The thing about zero contact is it shows intent on my end. I don't want any interactions with you. Not really the moves of a crazy person, an emotionally unhinged person. It sounds like a person who is laying firm and unwavering boundaries. Oh, God!
Who will go against?
You know, I find it funny because you talk about the May situation all the time. You know, we can't shame the victim. Of course we can't shame the victim. A woman is allowed to make plans for a date, to go meet a man. A woman can even undress and decide, stop. So I called Monty and there was no answer. Now, before I had called him, I had actually posted a tweet, you know, a little video tweet saying, oh, worst date ever. You know, I had to have the cops remove this guy from my house and I'm officially off the market type deal. And I think like an hour later, I called Monty and there was no answer. And then I just chilled for a while. And then around 11:30 my time, I sent him a text. And it said, sorry for calling earlier. I just had a rough night. And then he texted me back and said, so you want to use my time to comfort yourself after a bad date? And at first I was taken back by this. So I had said, you know, I had a rough night. He said, oh, so you want to use my time to console you after a bad date? And I wrote back, yeah, because I thought you were my friend. And then he wrote, yeah, I'm your friend, but how did you think I would feel about this, about me going on a date? And to be honest with you, it kind of took me back because I had just had like a super traumatic night and I was just so terrified, and I just wanted a friendly voice to be like, that sounds terrible, because isn't Monty supposed to be this empath for women? Compassion? Safe space? Well, no. No, not at all. Because it turned out Monty had some weird ownership over me. Some weird obligation that I owed to him to not date? What? We're not even slightly romantically linked at this point, obviously. To be honest with you, to reach out to a friend after such, let me restart that. To be the friend that I reached out to. I don't reach out to people, but if I call you up after a traumatic event, it means you're my friend. And I feel comfortable reaching out. And to be honest with you, I was in such a vulnerable state when I reached out, only to realize that not only was he going to avoid me, but he was going to make me feel shame about getting myself into the situation that I found myself in, and that I was being insensitive to his feelings. Yeah, you do sound like that guy in the Kiwi Farms post. Yes, you do. Yep. This ownership of me that I somehow did you dirty by going on a date. How dare I reach out after that? Reach out? We were friends. Creepy. He's a breadcrumby guy. He likes to just tell you just enough to keep you wondering, what's going on here? but he already has a flight booked to come visit me as a friend for my birthday. But yet when I ask his name, he won't give it to me. And so once he kind of booked the flight, and it happened fast, it kind of freaked me out how quickly things moved along for him. Very conflicting messages, because this guy is sometimes cold as an ice cube in the chat, or not in the chat, in messages. But then he'll call me 3 or 4 times a day. But he was very disrespectful about asking for my OnlyFans content. But he kept asking to have access to my OnlyFans. The very first time he asked me for access to my OnlyFans, he said it straight out. You should send me the link to your OnlyFans. And I said, subscribe. And he said, no, for free. Send it to me like Hot Ass Biznatch did. Because Hot Ass Biznatch sent Monty a free link to her OnlyFans. And I said, no. I said, you have to pay for it. And he was like, But guess what? He paid for it. He went in and paid for my subscription. He called it research. And then when his mom died, I asked him, can I help you with anything? Is there anything I can do? And he said, yeah, send me another video. Okay. No fap guy wants an OnlyFans video because he's mourning his mother. And I, like a fucking dumbass, I send it to him. Except I do ask for at least a please. Because he was just like, send me another video. Please would be nice. Like, not only was he creepy about asking for the content, but he wouldn't even say please. Let's put it this way. Monty, when he would ask for my OnlyFans content, had very much a where's my thumbnail vibe. And if you know that reference, then you get it. Where's my thumbnail? Hey Monty, how you doing? How you holding up with your mom? Send me another video. I asked him if I could do anything for him. He asked me to send him a video. What am I going to be like? Fuck you? Your mom just died? Yes, that's exactly what I should have said. Fuck you. Because it's an odd thing to request for help consoling your mom. But anyway, I never claimed to be smart now, did I? Another person, I won't say their name, but they contacted me. Like, did you know Monty's mom died? And she was under the impression that she was the first person to know. But I had already been told. He wanted me to create a Dropbox account and put all my OnlyFans content in it and send it to him so that he could help me edit. Because he wanted to help me raise money for my dog's surgery. And the fastest way to do that would be to put out content fast, fast, fast. And if I really wanted to do it, I could accept his help. But no thank you. I didn't want his help in that way. I kept saying, like, if you want to offer help, like, why don't you help me create intros or help me learn how to edit? But no, he specifically only wanted to help me with the OnlyFans content, which I did not give him access to. Anyway, I stopped talking to him. He used... he would say that he, would ask me what I was editing on. And I was like, oh, I'm using like this shitty editor or whatever I paid $10 for off of Windows Store. And he'd be like, oh, that's not going to work or whatever. And so he offers to send me this editor that he doesn't use. It's like an outdated editor, like it's an old version of it. And so he just sends it to me. I couldn't learn it. It was just too advanced for me. I just couldn't learn it. I told him straight up, like, I can't use this. It's just too advanced for me right now. When I told him about how uncomfortable he made me with the way he asked for my OnlyFans, he just immediately went into Monty mode and tried to make me feel bad, like I was taking advantage of him because he sent me an editor that he had paid for. You're holding something that you gifted me over my head? How much is it? He wouldn't even tell me. When I asked him how much the editor was so I could reimburse him so I wasn't under his thumb, his response was to tell me how much the flight was. So I Googled the Amazon value of this editor, tipped him $5 just to round it up. So he actually made money because this is the brand new version of it. Oh, he contacted me. I blocked everywhere until I got the email. The funny thing about the email is I got the email, read it, and was like, what is this? What PR company sent this? Always covering your ass, eh, Monty? Always leaving that vague possibility to be explained out. That's what you do. You make sure that everything can be interpreted your way. So everything has always got a little bit of vagueness to it, doesn't it? Do you know why I have issues and problems and all of a sudden you're trying to paint me as this crazy person? It's because 11 days ago you sent me this hilarious PR apology and you didn't hear back from me. And you heard the whispers on the wind that I was dissenting and there was no forgiveness in the water for you. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Bear with me, guys. This is my video about Monty. There is a lot to go over because it's a past year. There's nothing really salacious. This is about character, what we went through, why I don't owe him a fucking thing anymore, why I no longer support Monty. We're going to start at the beginning. I started watching Monty in 2021. Everything is great in the beginning. We have a wonderful group of mods. We work well together. He had a mod at that time, Tiny Dancer. She helped him tremendously. She helped give him advice, ideas with his videos, on and on. And I didn't think anything of it at first. However, I started to notice certain comments in the live streams she would make when Monty got flirty with his viewers. Oh, we will touch upon that later, about the flirtiness and that. She seemed to get mad at him and jealous over any attention he showed any other viewer in chat. I did bring this up in private to another mod, then just let it go. It's not my business. One night, Tiny Dancer threw a screenshot in the mod chat of a convo between her and Monty. I realized what was happening. Her side was they were talking and texting all the time. She was helping. He was going to see her and visit her as she was in the next province. He also had her news. What he tells us, she's a crazy stalker. She won't leave him alone. He had to block her. She's nuts. It was nothing. I did not believe him. I did not believe him. I did not fucking believe him. I told other mods in private. I said something's wrong. They, oh no, not Monty, not Monty. I zipped my lips, tucked it in the back of my head, and said, okay, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. I said something's wrong, but I thought, whatever, it's between him and this Tiny Dancer, let it go. But my spidey senses were tingling. And now I'm gonna tell you what else happened to just heighten that. One mod went ahead and blocked Tiny Dancer in chat so she didn't start any issues. Well, next live stream, she wasn't unblocked. Well, only the channel creator can unhide somebody. Just like you see Natter doing it all the time. So, and so we questioned him, like, hey, why is she unblocked? Another mod, I'm not going to say the names, blocked her. Why is she unblocked? Well, he couldn't. He's like, oh, whatever. Yeah, we knew you unblocked her, Monty, dumbass. So, she's a stalker. Why did you unblock her? Then he was saying, then he claimed he blocked her number, and he slipped up in the mod chat saying she was continuing to call and text. So, in the meantime, Tiny made a really long live stream. She had been crying in it, and I watched this live stream. And I knew she was being honest. I knew she wasn't lying. I knew just by the stuff she was saying, she wasn't lying. I just knew she was telling the truth, that something was happening between her and him, and he was lying and she was being honest. I mean, I'm sure maybe there were some things she wasn't being honest about, but for the most part, she was being honest and he was not. So, was telling her side of everything, and she was showing DMs and everything else. We got her, we made sure for him that we got her to tear down this fucking live stream to protect his channel. And I still, because again, I was new in this, I didn't know Monty that well. I'm the only one there questioning him. It was me against everybody else. I did say privately, like, something's not adding up. I don't know. And everybody, now later they said, you were right. I always hear that after, you were right. I heard that all, whatever. I just listened to my intuition. But in this situation, I couldn't follow through because I couldn't do anything in this because it was just me against everybody. I just had to be like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, but I'll put it on the back burner. It's between them. But we got her to take down this live video because she was totally trashing him. She did use his real name, which is out there now, but, we reported it and we did get her to take down this live stream. And so it didn't hurt his reputation and hurt his bottom line. So, and again, now the mask is slipping. Monty. My breakdown in the GoFundMe. My mental breakdown in the GoFundMe. Talking in mod chat one day, as we often did. Mind you, I am only months out from my accident. I am still healing, having severe PTSD, depression and pain, not sleeping, etc. And we are getting slammed with bills. I never open up about something so personal as our financial issues. Hang on. Sorry. This is still emotional for me. This is why this also is hard, because I didn't want to do this. This brings up a lot of shit for me. Okay. At the time, another YouTuber was grifting and was literally going to nightclubs and out drinking, and he had a GoFundMe. It was taken down, but here we were literally not eating, making sure our pets were. Sorry, almost had our power shut off the week prior. I mentioned this in the chat, how it would have been nice. Gee, it must be nice to go out to nightclubs and be blowing money on drinks that we didn't have to pay for. A couple of mods, not Monty, mods, bring up a GoFundMe. I am dead set against it, even though we are about to, sorry, let me fix myself. All right, even though we are about to lose just about everything we've worked so hard to get. Come on, guys. I don't want to have to keep starting this. I protest. I was raised that you handle things on your own. With a prideful father, etc. The mods really encouraged me to please ask for help, that my situation is what sites like GoFundMe are there for. I tell the mods I'll think about it. I talk with my husband, and after a few days, I beat the GoFundMe. Where Monty came into play. Monty said if I make the GoFundMe, he would happily promote it on his channel. That's it. He just asked, and I was very grateful for it. I now realize this was more to help Monty, and I'll speak on this later. Oh, I also have become a member of Monty's channel. He knew this. For $4.99 a month, and yes, he knew because I have an iPhone and had to ask him how to join from it. He never once said, no, you're broke, save your money. So the donation he gave me for $50, by the time I canceled my membership, I practically reimbursed him for the damn donation he gave me. I don't owe him anything. People saying I still owe Monty, I also modded for him day and night, hours on end. Whether I was in pain or I'd slept. I was always kind and cheerful and always appreciative. I could thank him over and over in chat, in videos. I couldn't have thanked him enough in private messages and in the mod chat. I still have the videos up thanking him for everything he's done. There were more people behind the scenes that did way more than Monty. The other mods, even another creator, It's Maya Time, hosting several hour live streams. To them, I am forever grateful. Monty has received far too much credit. Anyway, he would ask us to do research on different topics, or ask us what topics in general he should cover. I would spend hours of my time. Chris Chan was one I specifically remember. Several hours of research and going down a very dark rabbit hole, only for him not to use a damn thing. I did, on my own time and dime. After a few times of researching, I finally stopped. I realized he wasn't going to use anything that I did. We would literally beg Monty to tell us when he was going live, so we could make sure he had coverage. We asked so many times, hey, can you give us a time? Give us a heads up? Can you give us a heads up? That was the least that he could do. All right, and then in the chats, we were being told by people that it was too much sex talks and how it was grossing people out and bothering some subscribers, and some people were unsubscribing, and he may want to just tone it down a little bit. What does he do? He doubles down and just about starts getting flowcharts and flashcards out. He has to always push the limits. We had a great group of mods in the beginning, as I said. One mod really respected in the community. Now, mind you, this motherfucker asked for our advice. Said, hey, we have enough mods right now. We all work well together. What does Monty do? He doubles down and adds a few more mods. It's almost like give me advice but fuck you type of deal. The mod from hell. The new mod. The new mod he added was nothing but fucking trouble and caused so much infighting. She constantly trauma dumps, not only in the live streams, but in the mod chat. She constantly had to be the center of attention. And Monty, for whatever reason, took her side. I don't know why he took her side. We honestly think that she had something on him. The way he constantly defended her. She would do absolutely horrible things and say absolutely horrible things. And for some reason, he covered for her. He wouldn't get rid of her. Other mods left, and good mods left, and he still kept her around. And it was really weird how he constantly pushed for this mod and would not get rid of this moderator. So I honestly think that she had something on him. So another thing is, he always would lurk over the mod chat but wouldn't come in when it was necessary. When other channel creators, he was he thrived off of the drama, and he could have stopped all of the turmoil and unnecessary fighting between the mods. No, he kept it going. He just loved it. Monty acted like he cared. Oh, and now this is about Monty. Monty acted like he cared, but he was really only out for Monty. So around Christmas of 2021, I told Monty, look, it's coming up on the first anniversary of the fire and the first Christmas that I'll be awake and coherent without my dad, so I won't be modding as much. He said he completely understood. This was all said in Twitter DMs. Did I ever hear from him after that? Nope. Did he ever check on me? Nope. You know when I heard from him? Several months later. Not asking how I was. No. It literally said, were you in Cauliflower's chat last night? Excuse me? What is your fucking business if I was? And second, you haven't talked to me in months and that's what you send me? Fuck you, Monty. And I then realized, oh, he used you, girl. He used your story for clout. Your story and pushing your GoFundMe makes him look like this wonderful philanthropic person. Alright, the website. And that does hurt. The website. Remember the website he took sole credit for? I literally thought he paid for it and everything, which is expensive. My husband works and does that, and then he told me it's expensive. He acted like he was paying for it. I found out he wasn't the one funding it, even though he made it seem like he was. I spoke privately with the person that was. I was so fucking pissed off because here he gets all this credit as usual and he does half the work. It seems that's with everything he does. about Jessica. He wants to call Jessica for needing help. He's gotten help financially from someone in the community behind the scenes. So for him to act like he's better than anybody else is just beyond ridiculous to me. He told us he was a marine biologist and never corrected us when we talked about it to him when he was in hotels and stuff. We, said he was doing work in other provinces, talking about his work as a marine biologist. So according, he was a marine biologist and I never knew anything different. We all thought he was a marine biologist, so that's news to us that he's not. So is that another lie, Monty? He unmodded a wonderful mod that you all loved and adored. She was a friend of mine. I haven't heard from her in a while. I miss you, girl. She was going through a lot and he knew it, and she wouldn't be able to mod for a little bit of time, and she told him, and he said, that's fine, I won't mod you. And he understood, and most mods won't even tell a creator that, we're doing this on our own time and dime, we're doing it to help you out just because we like doing it, it's fun. And he's like, yo, that's fine. So she calls me like only a couple weeks later, and she's like, he unmodded me. And that's like so, she really enjoyed doing it, and she really wanted Monty to succeed in his channel. She really pushed for him to go, and for him to do that. And it's just, he's such a shitty person. You're just a piece of shit, Monty. So he did the same thing to me while I was dealing with my stuff. I don't know when I was unmodded. I really don't give a flying fuck. I honestly had zero desire to mod anymore. I was starting to see so many cracks in the armor. I knew he didn't give a flying fuck about me, and he wasn't the person he claimed he was. And then I saw the Kiwi Farms stuff came out, and I was like, yeah, peace out, bitch. So that's all my stuff with Monty. It's nothing salacious. It's just how he was in character, the stuff I dealt with. I don't owe him shit. Stop saying that. Even his donation, I paid him back by being a member. If y'all want to see fucking proof I have, you can go back to those live streams during that time. I was a fucking fire member or whatever that bullshit was. Go look. So, yeah, I even gave him back his own fucking donation. And you want to add all in the hours I was fucking in his live streams when I didn't feel good after surgery for hours? Go fuck yourselves. I don't want to hear that anymore. He's a piece of shit. He's an incel. And he deserves all the shit he's getting right now. He is not a good person. I didn't want to even have to do this, but all the shit's coming out now. I started getting shit from people saying, didn't Monty do the GoFundMe? Wasn't he doing? Yeah, he literally said, donate to Samantha's GoFundMe. I appreciated it. I thanked him. There are videos up. But there were people that did a lot more than he did. This is the last time I'm speaking about it. This is my video about him. This is what I think about him. This is my dealings with him. I am done.
Hey guys, it's Cauliflower, and I just wanted to welcome you to this video. There have been several different videos that have been coming out on this certain individual. And while my particular story is not in the same nature as the other stories, it doesn't make it any less important. And I dreaded ever making a public statement about this from when it began. What it does have to do with is my character and my content being misconstrued into something different. I was the first person to speak against this individual. The person I'm talking about, everybody knows as Monty After Dark or Stories from the Internet. So I kind of edged my way over to Monty's, and I really liked it over there because I liked the way that people just said what they needed to say, and they were allowed to come up and speak on a panel.
Going on currently with the May situation with no, she's another one completely lost her marbles, that one.
And so when I started to become more and more on Monty's panel, he would put up my link and he would show off my my channel essentially. I had become friendly with some of Monty's mods, preferably one specific mod, which I'm not going to name her, but I did become very friendly with her and a bunch of people that also were friendly with her as well. And along the way, there were some things that he would talk about that I wasn't really like too comfortable with, but I really kind of just shoved it off as it just being Monty. Not long after, there was apparently another discussion in another Discord about me. And it was all about how unstable I was and how crazy I was and how I'm a victim and all of these things. Okay, he DM'd me. And he had said that he realized that there was some tension and that it would probably be better if I didn't come back to Stories from the Internet or Monty After Dark unless I fix the situation. So again, there was an answer to what I had said to him because I said a long paragraph to him. He answered me. And again, it was basically like, fix it on your own. So after that, I walked away from Monty and Stories from the Internet. And I started doing my own lives outside of these people that I was doing lives with. I no longer was speaking to any of them. And I started to do what everybody knows me to do today. That was the first fallout with Monty. The second part of this, it was a video I had made where I did a live and then I had what we call palate cleansers. Had no idea that that part was in there. I had no idea it was going to go that route. Well, anyway, it upset that person. They left and then they went and made their own video painting me a racist, saying that I knew what was in that video and even changing the title name of that video, which was not the accurate title of that video, and just supporting their narrative about me being a racist. So after that had happened and I made that live, Monty went ahead and posted the video that was made about me to his community page. Pretty much another smack in the face because I knew why he did that. And I only gave you this story before I'm going to come in with the major story because this kind of sets up why that was done, I think. So, the main story, which is the dreaded community post that I put on my channel's community post about Monty's Kiwi Farms page. I was the first person to speak on it. And again, I fought with this a lot. Knowing what Monty means in this community, knowing how people think of him, I fought with myself, and I even said it to my mods that they probably weren't going to be happy with me once I put this community post out there, but I just couldn't keep my mouth shut because of the nature of the things I read. See, this wasn't about making him look bad. It's just like Chantel. You don't have to make them look anything that they already put out there. So if you're going to be a hypocrite and you're going to play her content day in and day out and say the things that you say about her and basically say, she tells on herself. Well, I'm sorry. This particular post, Kiwi Farms, tells on itself. It tells you what Monty was involved with and who Monty is. Once I put that community post out, all hell broke loose. And also, not shortly after that, a video was made about it. Of course it was, a reaction video to what I had done. Monty felt compelled that he needed to explain why those specific Kiwi Farms posts had nothing to do with him and had to do with a former business partner who was an alcoholic that he couldn't help, named Jack Splints. Even though it kind of calmed down after that, after a while, up until about 2 months ago, Monty's got a community post, and once again, it's highlighting the very video I mentioned before about me being a racist. And in that post, he mentions about how this has to stop. it did stop because I had made a public community post saying that I had taken everything into consideration. I was sorry and I'm moving on from this. But goes to show you what kind of person Monty is when it comes to another channel creator. He decided that he wanted to keep that narrative going, so he posted it to his community page. At the end of the day, it's very upsetting what has been coming out. My support is 150% behind every single person who's put a video out there. And you want to know why? Because, number one, the very thing that I got struck for, and we all know this, natter, is because I put the former mods on my panel and you had an issue with that. You had an issue with a woman speaking out against you. Oh well. And so does Monty. Monty goes and strikes people, essentially. Troll detective, right? But you were struck by Natter. You could have struck him too for what he said about you. Specifically was a racist comment to make. That got under the radar. Then shortly after that, there was actually not shortly after that, recently there was another YouTuber that Monty was making content about. Now, I will say this, I don't agree with a lot of her views, and I've had her on my panel twice, and I have a high respect for where she's coming from. Do I agree with everything she says? Absolutely not. But Monty made a video about this woman.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tina, and this is my apology video. 2 weeks ago, I did a video, and it was called, Why Are Cishet Men Here? And I meant in Girl World. And it was about garlic bread and Monty, stories from the internet. And I wondered why, because I felt like they preyed on women. For garlic bread, it was Jessica Messica and Just Breezing. And for Monty, it was Tiny Dancer, Kate Winslet. He did a reaction video today to The Gaining Ground. The Gaining Ground went, let me go back. So Troll Detective released a video last night about Monty. And in that video, it was screenshots of Tiny Dancers and with Monty talking over it. Monty struck him for that, which I think is the height of hypocrisy. Because you don't deem it transformative, you struck him. So Gaining Ground came up and did a reaction to him, to the Troll Detective. And so Monty decided to react to The Gaining Ground. Monty has done 3 videos on me and did a panel where 5 white women were trashing me. This is a black man that had 5 women doing his fucking bidding. Just like he tried to have Tiny Dancer do his fucking research. She wanted to get paid. He didn't want to pay her. This dude thinks that he's supposed to get everything from women for free. That's not how life works. You use women on your Monty After Dark. For the most part, you use women while you're doing something else to talk, and you get all the money. Butter doesn't melt in your mouth. You are evil. Yaba also did a reaction to you today. I didn't get to see that one. Hopefully somebody will have it. I believe she might have deleted it. But you like to punch down, and I see that. You went after Kate Winslet. You went after me. I have 500 subs. 500. I was not to be believed. I was called a racist and a sexist by you, of which I'm neither. But you do realize that this community is comprised mainly of women, but you hate women. So you can't practice MGTOW because you need these women to do your fucking bidding. You blamed Kate Winslet for posting your mom's funeral video. You posted that shit somewhere. I don't even know where you posted it, for somebody to get it. You don't know who posted that to Kiwi Farms. And it is my opinion, that you did that yourself so you could try and throw her under the bus for it. You keep saying you need to do your research. You need to do your research. Check your facts. Did you do that before you said she did that? Did you ever show any receipts showing that she was the one that posted that on Gaining Ground's video? You did a lot of time stamping. That was weird. And the reason why was because he was asking questions. He wasn't accusing you of anything. He was asking questions. Nobody can ask you questions. You're the smartest one in the room, right? And nobody can question you because you are that man. You're sick. You use a woman every day. If she streams for 20 hours, you stream for 20 hours because you snipe. I can't imagine having that kind of time on my hands where I could sit up and stream snipe somebody. That's her job. She can stream all day. That's her job. You need to go get one of those. You really like to punch down. You have over 10,000 subs. I have 500. Why did you have to do so many videos on me? I did one video that I asked, why were you guys here? All you had to do was either answer the question or ignore it. But instead you decided to call me a sexist and a racist while I'm over here caping for a white woman. One thing that I noticed that Monty did a lot of in this video is deflecting. A lot of it. He doesn't want to answer any questions because he doesn't have a proper answer for these questions. I'm sure of it. There's no excuse for some of the shit you have done on this fucking platform to these women in particular. You have stands. And they believe every word that comes out of your mouth. I'm not one of them. I used to think that you were kind of smart. But come to find out, you're actually Google happy. You Google everything. Yeah, I really question myself sometime about that. Because I was watching you because I actually thought you were really smart. But you're actually kind of not. Because if you were, those screenshots that the troll detective put up, you would have realized those were incoming calls for Tiny Dancer, which you acknowledge that. It's you blowing up her phone, though. You're trying to twist that, like that's not what was happening. You wanted her to do your research. Because women ain't shit to you. And they do your work. They do your fucking bidding. Oh no. The way you did that reaction with that fucking word salad though. From beginning to end, straight word salad. You never answered any questions. You never went in depth with any of that shit. You just basically deflected. Because you knew you were caught. You wanted Tiny Dancer to do your shit for free. You didn't want to give her shit. And then had the balls to ask her for some fucking nude pics. And then tried to gaslight her, telling her her shit was on Pornhub and X-Hamster. If it was, you would have been looking at it, sir. What are you talking about? Why would you ask her for something that's for free? You're not answering questions. You're deflecting. And then for you to strike troll detective, talking about that wasn't transformative, boy, it's more transformative than any of the fucking reactions you've done to Chantal. And you actually use my videos. Chop them all to hell. But I would never strike you. Because why? So I can give you my information? I don't want you to have that. I think that's what you're trying to get anyway. Another thing that I really, really, really wanted to know that you didn't answer, or maybe the question wasn't posed to you. But how did you get Jessica's last name to be able to look up her stuff, her court stuff. You got that woman's stuff and you put her on full blast out here. But nobody can do any of this shit to you.
Hi guys, it's Jessica. So I wasn't necessarily going to make a video about Monty, but my name has been coming up a lot as he mentioned me in some of his videos that other creators are starting to pick up as we are starting to have the veil removed from who we thought Monty was. I just want to share how I feel and what I feel has been done wrong to me by Monty. I'm going to say Monty Cruz, but that's not even your name, so it's whatever. So I had ended up being blocked on Monty's channel because there was a panel. It was like Erie Pepperoni, Buddha Bitch, Monty, and some Tiger something, and Doe-Eyed Cookie. And they were just going in on Roman so hard, and I felt like it was bullying. Monty was sitting there not saying anything, smiling, loving that all these women were being his attack dogs. And I just thought it was so disgusting, and I felt like they gaslit the shit out of Roman and bullied him. So I was going off in the chat, and I ended up getting blocked. If you leave, go out from under Monty's wing, or he feels rejected, but he will spin it to make it seem like you rejected him. And that's something very similar to Natter. Very similar. So when I was on the panel telling my story, there were several women on. I do remember one of them being Erie Pepperoni. I think Natural Ginger was there. I think BBW Veronica was there. I can't really remember everybody that was there, but everyone was supporting me. They all said, Jessica, don't be ashamed. Like, we've all made poor choices. We've all sent nudes to people in the past, and they literally were so supportive of me. Monty didn't say anything, but it was not long lasting because in future panels, when Monty would sit there and talk shit on me, nobody spoke up for me. But that one time they did. And I did appreciate it at that time. Monty didn't really say anything. We ended the panel. I ended up later that same night on my own live stream confessing that I showed everything. I said that I told everybody the truth on my own channel. Again, I was not trying to deceive anyone. I did leave something out, but I don't feel that makes me a liar. I did not cheat on a boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. And I was in no way trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes. And I still don't understand why it matters what body parts I showed Natter El-Shami. Why does that matter? I don't get why me not saying every single body part that I showed Natter makes Monty look like he's not credible. How does that add up? I think Monty likes to say that he's mad at me because I made him look like a liar and not a credible person, but I don't think that's the real reason, but we'll get into that. So anyway, one day I'm just chilling, having my coffee. I'm in Monty's chat. I say, hi, how is everybody? And he tells me, he stops his stream. He literally was in the middle of his stream, stops, and he's like, Jessica Meska, get the fuck out of here. You're a fucking liar. I heard you've been talking shit on me. Get the fuck out. And blocked me. And this was right when Natter had first started saying he was going to expose me. I was literally, I literally cried. I felt like Monty had accepted me to a degree because I was able to tell my story on the panel. The panel accepted me. Yeah, people did talk shit on the chat, but I just wanted a place where I could go. And because I'm not a social person. I'm outgoing, but I don't have any friends. So like, I did like going to his chat. Monty, like it really was weird to me because I really thought he was like a good or nice person, and I was so blown away that he would embarrass me like that instead of finding a way to ask me if I really had said anything about him. He does a stream just saying I'm a liar piece of shit. He goes, I can't believe Jessica Mesa goes on my panel lying to me and all of my viewers. Like, you know, you sent more than that. How dare you lie to us? You cheated on your boyfriend. If you didn't want Natter to expose you, you should have never sent him anything. And then he goes on to use my Kiwi farm docs to embarrass me about a situation where I was going to be getting evicted. I never lied about that. I never hid it. So I could see if I was going out to the club every day, if I was making GoFundMes, if I was denying that I had an eviction case, then I could see why you might bring that up to call Jessica Messica a liar. But it had no relevancy whatsoever other than to embarrass me. You thought you were going to shut me up and knock me down a peg, but you didn't. That didn't work, okay? I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed that I'm a single mom that goes through problems just like my mother did, just like many of you's parents did, just like you might have gone through yourself. And I think that was one of the dumbest moves you ever made, was to drag that in, because your audience is filled with women and you have no idea what their financial situation is like. And that, my friend, was a fucking shitty move. Shitty fucking move. Unnecessary as fuck. There was no reason to do that. Disgusting. Talk about me as a mother while you... let me not even get into it. You don't even have fucking kids. Shut the fuck up. Kids are off limits. You don't want nobody talking about your mother, but you're talking about someone's mother like that. Get the fuck out of here, for real. Monty, I feel, does not like the support I've gotten across the community. Monty doesn't like that my channel's growing. Monty doesn't like that I'm a woman with an opinion. So what does he continue to do? Continue to bring up my financial situation and my eviction. Mind you, I did a whole live stream in the court showing that I was going through the eviction. He went as far as to show the city, say my first name, and give the judge's whole name and show the docket number. You could know exactly where I live off of that. It has my full address, all on the court stuff. So I don't understand how any of that was ever relevant to anything. Why was that relevant? Why did you feel the need to do that? What breaking news story were you covering? It turns out he did end up taking down that video after doing a poll to find out if it's fucked up or not to talk about my eviction. Thank you for everyone that voted that it's fucked up, so Monty took it down. Thank you so much. I'm glad your chat controls your morals. I appreciate that. Monty's mad that I expose men that are like him. Garlic Bread, aka Ryan Moody, Kenneth Moody, Monty Cruz, Carrie, and Nadarel Shami are all cut from the same cloth. And trust me, I know, because I've dealt with them. Trust me, I know, because I've been there with them. And you could, whatever. Trust me, take my word for it, because I've interacted with all of them. They are very similar. Very similar. They have the same defect. And after hearing Buddha Bitch's story, after hearing Sunshine and Sunflowers, Tiny Dancer, Monty doesn't like a woman with an opinion. Monty doesn't like a woman that doesn't worship him. Monty will turn it on you and make you embarrassed and ashamed. I don't know how many other women might have a story that are scared to speak out. But speak your truth. If there's anything you need to share, don't be embarrassed. I've been through it all.
Well, there's a lot I don't understand right now, like how all these people are behaving here and what they think they're accomplishing. Oh, Grandma Smurf, because you say so, it makes it so. Okay. So now Monty will talk to anybody but me. You're a real man, Monty, aren't you? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I didn't do anything threatening. I don't know what you're talking about. If I felt threatened, would I still be sitting here putting up all your comments? Well, don't stay here and watch now. I don't keep deleting videos. I already explained to you the honest to God truth about what happened over there. And I find it more interesting that you were paying that much attention. It suggests how really competitive you are. And you will go for anyone's throat to get what you want in this area, Monty. It's quite clear. You're still not speaking to me in any rational way. You guys are in groupthink. I don't know what to say because I give accurate information on this channel. And anybody that knows what I'm talking about knows it's accurate. Exactly. It's an unwarranted virtual mob attack there's no justification to disrespect anybody in that regard. So, Monty, you're over here talking to your own people now, are you? Like it's your channel. Why won't you answer, Monty? Why have you been paying so much attention to me? Why can't you accept an honest explanation of why I took all the videos down, put them all back up, did some more, then took them all down, then put them all back up? In the meantime, I've been pretty consistent over here. You won't speak to anything. So clearly what you people don't realize is that for all the people that are going to be in your groupthink, etc., they're not going to see what I'm saying. But everybody else will. Not that it really matters because I'm not in the in crowd in this area. Thank God. Well, everybody who does a channel wants to bring in viewers. My goodness, what's wrong with that? Man, this is crazy. We're just wondering if that was really you. I'm not projecting at all. You guys are gaslighting. Seriously. You'll have to bring up her other channels where she deletes and comes back if she wants to. What? Dent that. What does that even mean? I already explained to you what happened on the other channel. The videos are back up. And then I explained why I moved to this channel because I couldn't use Restream on the other channel because it's a sub-channel of a channel. What there do you think there is? It doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you the truth. I already told you, even though you're not being friendly at all, and you're just being abusive for some reason, I already told you the honest truth of why I took those videos down twice and put them up twice, because I was going to quit. That's the only reason. They're all back up again. I'm not hiding anything. What's your point? Just keep making accusations. I don't know who they are actually anymore. Like, seriously, I don't know. I don't even know if this is the real Monty at this point. Can somebody tell me, does Monty have a check mark? Because somebody mentioned something about that before. Because this story from the internet doesn't have a check mark. And this is kind of like beyond ridiculous. I have no idea why you want to do this, Monty. I don't know. I guess you really need that much attention. And you'll have to go at me like you go at Dragon Lord Photo. And, you know, I believe what people are saying about how inappropriate that is. The way you're behaving is really something. Yeah, he needs all this backup of abusive people because he's that abusive too. Mr. Class and Compassion, as he's known. And he's here talking to his people like it's his channel. It's funny. So total disrespect. I got that. That's what you're about, Monty. Totally disrespecting people. Good thing I don't delete my browser history, so I'll bring the receipts tomorrow. Well, I already told you what happened and why. So, and the attention that you've been paying to me, Monty, whatever your receipts are, says a lot about you because, wow, I must be some kind of threat to you for you to even know that I existed over here. Because you had never been mentioned prior to when you showed up in a live stream at all over here. So dude, do you realize how you're behaving? I guess not. You go ahead and do whatever you want. I couldn't care less. I don't feel threatened by you. You obviously feel threatened by me. Wow, this is incredible behavior. What? You're not making any sense. Wow. That's okay, Kitsune. Thank you for being here. It's a trolling by Monty, Stories from the Internet channel, and a lot of his followers. That's what it is. Oh, wow. Who could keep up with it with a bunch of trolls? Seriously. And yet I was prepared to have a conversation with Monty, but he's incapable of doing that. No, I'm not. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Is anybody listening to a word I say? Twice, Monty, twice. And I told you why. So run with it and lie about it all you will, because I can't control what you do. But like, she has literally cleared everything off her channel. No, not multiple times, twice. And is now denying it. No, I'm not. Twice. I told you why. Your behavior here, mister, is inexcusable. And, maybe not right away. Maybe you'll get the upper hand in the drama and I'll take all the trolling. But in the end, you'd be surprised how what you've done here tonight will come back to get you. And I don't have to do anything.
But there are some hard questions we need to be asking, and I don't think we should be afraid in this forum because it is our opportunity while we've got him here to ask those hard questions. And if you permit me, and I do this with all the respect that I can muster for you, Monty, if you would allow me just a minute to ask you some questions, and I really want you to be honest, okay?
Well, it's Veronica's channel, so...
Veronica, do you give me the opportunity to please ask Monty some questions?
Yeah.
Okay, and I will be respectful and I'll be kind and...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so out of the situation that's come up so far, I just want to know what part, if any, do you feel you need to take responsibility for?
I would say not being there at the moment in need, but then it's in hindsight, do I know that she really needed me there? Because I was asking the questions I would always ask, which are, how, what, where, why, who, when.
Okay.
Usually if she calls me and then she would answer, but this time it just didn't. She didn't answer until I understood more that somebody was there and tried to rape her. Then at that point I was like, oh crap, I totally didn't know this when she called me in the morning, because she never told me like that. It was just a missed call. I texted like, hey, what's going on? And I wasn't answered. So how am I supposed to know? I can't read minds.
No. Okay, so that's the answer to that question. So the other question that I have is, when she asked you if there was anything she could do for you while you were grieving her mother, your response was to ask for nudes and a video. Can you answer that question, please?
Oh, what she hasn't told you is that she has been offering if I she would offer OF to me. So there's a
What
lot to
do you
this.
have those screenshots or evidence of that?
I'll have to look through and see if I do have those.
Okay. Do you have any regrets regarding any of this? Is there anything that you would like to go back and do differently?
Just be more careful, less trust enough people.
So instead of so what I take from that, and please just tell me if I'm wrong, is that instead of changing how you would treat her, you would just like to keep it more private. That's how I take that.
Maybe people aren't understanding that I treated Buddha extremely well. I was there for her. She would call me every day, and every day I would answer and talk to her about anything from family, productivity, etc., etc., etc.
So what do you think her motivation is for doing this then, if she felt like she was being treated very well from you?
Well, my understanding is that she felt she maybe put me on a pedestal.
Did she say that, or is that how you feel?
No, I feel at this moment that's what was happening. But the thing about that is I'm only human, and sooner or later I'm going to make a mistake. And if I make a mistake, then that's when she's going to drag me. So what I feel is that sooner or later, what was done was inevitable.
So basically, any relationship so this was going to be the end outcome because of the type of person that Buddha is. Is that what you're saying?
I would say I can't predict the future, but it's highly likely that this outcome was always going to happen.
So why would you get involved with her in the first place if this was
I
what the
wasn't
outcome?
ever involved with her. As she says, we were friends.
But you said you were flirting.
I said it was flirty, and she would flirt, and I would flirt back, but we always kept it at a mature level.
Okay, so that sounds like you're trying to narrate this to sound right.
It might seem like that, but that's how it was.
But if you're trying to be zero contact, the best way to make that happen is to say, I don't want to talk to you no more.
I think that would be the mature thing to say, because I don't like ghosting.
But to be fair, if you have 20 avenues of contact and 19 of those have been shut off to you, would that not send a very strong message that they don't want to talk to you?
It would if they actually did have 20 avenues.
No, all right, four types of contact: Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, or email. And email's the only way. She didn't clearly want to talk to you, so why would you hunt around for an email? I don't understand. Like, she didn't want to talk to you because she's blocked you everywhere. What does that tell you?
What do you mean by hunt her by email?
Did you have her? Were you contacting her by email regularly before?
No, I contacted by email only once, and to say that, hey, I didn't understand the situation. Here's my apology. I'm sorry. I didn't understand that you were almost great because I didn't see the tape. I didn't understand what was happening or why
that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about now is that she didn't want to talk to you and she had blocked you, and you used the last avenue of contact to contact her when it was clear she did not want to speak to you because you wanted to apologize.
It wasn't clear.
How was it not clear? How does that not send a clear message?
Because she's coming in the chat room.
Had she come into your chat in that time when she had blocked you everywhere else?
I do believe so, that she did, as well as other chats I've been in, yeah.
Oh, I do have one other question for you, and I think it's one question that the chat does want to have an answer to, is why did you strike Troll Detective?
Because the content wasn't, it wasn't fair use, that's why.
But it's the same way that you use Chantal's content in the same way. It's the same.
It's not the same.
It is the same.
It's not the same, and
how
fair
is it different?
use because.
How is it different?
Okay, let me finish.
Okay.
Because every time I'm speaking, you're chiming in. So you let me finish.
I will.
If I feel it's not fair use, at the end of the day, it's going to be up to a judge. So if I feel that whatever Troll Detective is using is not fair use, I will challenge it with a copyright strike. Then Troll Detective has the chance to counter. Then I will take Troll Detective to court and have a judge determine whether or not it's fair use.
But my question is, how is it different to the way that you use Chantal's content? Because it is the same.
It's not the same.
But explain to me how it's different then.
Troll Detective used my entire voice all the way through for more than 50% of that video, maybe 60%, with just really negative imagery on top. That is not fair use.
But negative imagery is not part of copyright. The context does not matter. My
voice is my own, so it is my property.
Okay. But it was filtered, it was transformative, and that is the basis of it not being copyrighted, and he transformed that.
That's the basis of the argument that you feel it's transformative, while I'm feeling it's not. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's up to a judge to decide what is or isn't fair use.
Okay, so you're saying it's justified to have struck Troll Detective on the feeling that you do not feel it is fair use?
Yes, that's
okay. That's the answer to my question.
Do.
Yep. Okay.
So if Chantal feels what I'm doing is not fair use, then she will be justified in striking, as with anybody else. If you feel that whatever somebody else is using of your content doesn't fall within the boundaries of fair use, then you do have that right. That's what it's there for.
So you're saying Nader striking all of those channels because he felt it was unfair use was okay?
That is what the system is there for. So if he feels it is not within the confines of fair use, then he has the right to strike you.
Did you feel that same way?
What he should have done is actually go ahead and with these filings, but he didn't.
Did you feel that same way before the Troll Detective video?
I've never brought complaints about the striking. I just said I was struck and then I put it in for a counter. I never once went on and complained or put it in my community tab, because at the end of the day, that's just YouTube.
I want to know why the description of the Buddha situation and why the Tiny Dancer situation sounds so similar in storylines from Monty. They're both crazy, mentally damaged women who were problematic, but he was trying to be romantically involved with both of them. I want that situation explained.
Who said they were crazy?
You did.
I never used that word.
Yeah, you did.
When?
In your video, you said and you mentioned that Tiny Dancer was unbalanced. She had mental health problems. She was problematic. You described her as an unbalanced person, and you did the same thing with Buddha, because we know she's got mental health issues with her bipolar, and you played that off intentionally. Well, no, let me finish. Let me finish. This is not your panel. Let me finish. You intentionally put that into your videos and your conversation to make them seem less credible and you more credible. And I think that is very, very unfair. And I think, Veronica, you need to take control back of this panel, because he is pontificating and he's trying to take over. And I'm leaving now. Please explain, Monty.
Let me ask you a question. Does Tiny Dancer have mental health issues? Yes or no? If it's a yes, then when I say that she does have mental health issues, it's the truth. Does Buddha Bitch have mental health issues? If it's a yes, then what was I lying about?
Okay. Well, I think I've probably heard enough for today, so I'm going to check out now, guys. Bye.
So just know our arms are open for you. The community is ready to hear it. We're ready to challenge this head on. And a lot of people think that we're in the darkest of times, but the darkness has always been here. It's just being unveiled. The darkness is being unveiled. In any way I could help that, I want to continue to help with it.